To analyze the effects of boat trafficking, we must first define what boat traffic is. Things such as tankers, cruises, fishing boats, recreational boats, jet skis, and personal watercraft that use motors. Some uses of boats are fishing, cruising, the shipping of goods around the world, public transport, and public safety.
Boston Harbor is a natural harbor and estuary of Massachusetts Bay, and as the name implies, it is located at the mouth of the Charles in front of beautiful Boston. It is home to the Port of Boston, one of the most highly trafficked and busy ports on the eastern seaboard. Boston Harbor is a large harbor which constitutes the western extremities of Massachusetts Bay. The harbor is sheltered from Massachusetts Bay and the open Atlantic Ocean by Deer Island to the north, the Hook Nantucket Peninsula, and Point Allerton to the south, and the Harbor Islands in the middle. As a result, much of the boat traffic through the harbor often comes by Deer Island, which you can see as you look out behind me. Almost every day you can see massive ships coming in to reload, distribute, and unload their goods to the people of Boston.
There are a number of reasons why boats and boat activity are important issues to the aquatic environment. One alarming statistic shows that over 40% of the registered boats were between 16 and 39 feet long in 1997 to 1998, compared to just 18% in 1968 to 1969. Now, in present times, it is closer to 60%. Due to the increase in the size of boats, boat engines have also become bigger and also require more fuel. There has also been an alarming increase in PWCs, or personal watercraft, because more people are able to afford them. These smaller boats, due to their maneuverability, are able to get into shallow and remote areas otherwise previously untouched by human activity. Increased development of lakes, rivers, and harbors leads to increased boat activity, especially in areas that have not seen much human activity before. There are many problems caused by the use of boats in an aquatic system, including emissions and exhaust, propeller contact, turbulence from the propulsion system, waves produced by movement, sound pollution, and movement from boat traffic. Conversely, each of these problems caused by boats has multiple effects on the aquatic system. Sediment shifting and redistribution, water pollution, disturbance of fish and wildlife, destruction of aquatic plants, and shoreline erosion are some of the major areas of concern. Many ships are seen anchoring off the coast of Deer Island every day. These ships are huge in size and usually sit there for 2 to 3 days while they are unloading and loading. As a result, many metals and other chemicals are being eroded into the surrounding area, causing the chemical balance of the water to change.
In 2006, the port handled over 14 million metric tons of cargo, including about 201,000 containers of TEUs. Other major forms of cargo processed at the port include petroleum, liquefied natural gas, or LNG, automobiles, cement, gypsum, and salt. About 81 to 93 cruise ships traverse the waters of Boston Harbor and the port, carrying about 208,000 passengers along with them. Due to security measures put in place in the wake of the 9/11 attacks, all tankers traveling to and from the port facilities are forced to pass directly offshore of downtown Boston, causing much traffic there as well. The MBTA has many operations of commuter boats between Long Wharf and Rose Wharf on the downtown Boston waterfront to Hingham, Hull, Quincy, and Logan Airport. They also provide many ferries to the inner harbor between downtown Boston, Charlestown, and South Boston. Other fast passenger ferries operate to Provincetown and Salem. There are many private companies that also operate the cruise boats between the harbors. Many water taxis also operate on many different spots in the downtown Boston waterfront: Logan Airport, Charlestown, East Boston, and South Boston. Ferries are also heavily used to travel between the mainland and harbor islands. We can see from all this info that Boston Harbor is a highly trafficked place. Since a significant portion of the traffic comes from the overseas, many boats bring organisms that normally wouldn't develop in the waters of Boston. Other problems affecting the biodiversity are the constant movement caused by the boats, which affect floor bed content and movement. This leads to many particles being upset by boat propellers and displacement, which can lead to troughs or depressions where many boats typically travel. This is a problem for organisms which cannot travel by their own power and are sucked into the troughs by gravity, causing them to exist at lower depths where they cannot survive, since temperatures and pressure are different. Another major issue regarding the boat trafficking is noise pollution. Many mammals which live near the coast rely on sounds heavily to communicate and navigate. Animals such as seals and whales are some of the few. With the increase in boats With motors, many of these animals are disturbed by such noises and thus cannot communicate with each other. Another issue is the destruction of much plant life due to rotor damage and many organisms which die from the same method. Propeller blades are a major cause of death, and plant erosion, which starts a chain of negative impacts. Without soil compactness, without plants, soil compactness is compromised. No plants also means no photosynthesis, which means still less O2. This leads to ocean acidification. As you can see, one small problem can lead to many chain reactions.
The sheer amount of boats that pass through Boston Harbor is harmful to the ecology. Even the smallest effect can set off a chain reaction that could change the harbor's ecology for the worst. We must learn as humans that we are not the only ones who share the planet. But enough on boat trafficking. What happens when boats sink? How does that affect the ecology? I shall now turn it over to my colleague, Jake.